Hello there everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to make this 3-colour Ombre beaded Kumihimo braid, and I've turned it into a bracelet here. This is what mine looks like, so I've chosen to use these purple colours. It looks like that, so you have a centre colour and then it graduates outwards with the colours down the side then, so it's nice and symmetrical. Now I wanted to make this, I previously made another Ombre Kumihimo bracelet with beads, but I wanted to make this specifically like this because I made an Ombre Kumihimo necklace as well, where I used these 3 colours, and obviously purple is my favourite colour, so kind of felt like I wanted to make a bracelet to match the necklace. Because I'm using the 3 colours in the necklace, I wanted the bracelet to match nicely, and the previous Ombre Kumihimo bracelet that I made with beads here looks like this. So this is alternating between 2 colours, so obviously you can do that with the bracelet, the necklace, sorry, as well, but it wouldn't just really fit with the look that I wanted, because I wanted to use the same 3 colours. But if I wanted to do it so it worked the same way as the necklace, it would just look quite uneven and not very symmetrical in this design here. So that's why I thought I would come up with a bit of a different one. So it looks like that. So you still have the same graduation between the colours as the necklace there, but it just fits slightly differently to make it more symmetrical in the full length of the bracelet. So I now have a final full set here in the purple beads. That's my favourite colour, so definitely wear this as a set. That was kind of the purpose of it, so they would go nicely together. So if you want to learn how to make this one here, then keep watching. So these are the materials that we're going to need. We need our round Kumihimo disc here first of all, because it's a round braid that we're making. And then the cord that I'm using is a 0.4mm Eslon. In this case I'm using a purple colour to go with the colour of my beads. You can obviously match the colour of your cord to match whatever beads that you're using. And then as for the 3 colours of my beads here, these are all Aomi Miyuki seed beads, and I've got a white, so this specific colour is a white pearl Ceylon, and then I have a silver lined violet alabaster, and then I have a silver lined dark violet. So this is just because I wanted to make this bracelet to match the necklace there. So I have these 3 specific colours. It's going to be quite specific on the pattern of the braid. But obviously you can choose whatever 3 colours you want to work with. And then we also need a findings here to finish off the bracelet. So I have my Kumihimo ends, and then a lot of claw clasp extender chain, and then my jump rings as well. So let's get it all together and let's get started. And then I've cut some lengths of cord here to be able to get started with the braid. And I have 4 lengths of my Eslon of about 1 meter each. And then I've put all the ends together like that. And then I fold it over in half and put all the ends together again, to then find roughly where the middle is. And now tied a regular knot here holding them all together, and then I've also just put a piece of scrap wire around it to help symbolise the middle. That's going to be then attached to the disc, and also the wire is going to help pull it down through as we're making the braid. And I then took all my cords here and attached them onto my disc, so it looks like that. And I took that knot with the wire and put it down through the centre of the disc. And then I distributed the cords in this way, so I'm not focusing on the numbers at all. I'm just using the dots there on the disc as reference. So I'll put 1 length of cord on each side of each dot there, all the way around. And then what we need to do is start making a bit of braid here, just using the cord before we add in any beads. So we have a little section that we can use to finish off at the end. So I'm going to take my top left cord on the disc, release that, bring it down to the bottom, stay on the left side. Then I'm going to take the bottom right one, bring it up, and stay on the right side of the top. Now that's the first movement here in the first pair. We then need to turn the disc to the next pair. So I'm turning it a quarter, and then just doing the exact same thing. Take the top left one, bring it down, and then take the bottom right one and bring it up. Just like that, and then turn it again. And that's all you're going to keep doing really. So I'm going to do this till I have about 1 to 2 centimeters of braid, so we just have that little section where we can then start adding in the beads. So I now have that little section of braid here, and you can see it's coming out of the back. The braid is starting to form, and now that I'm ready, we need to start adding in beads and continue the braid as well. So this is how you want to set up the beads here to achieve this pattern. Now I'm going to go through it here in this video, but I've also taken a picture, and along with the picture a description of how to set up the beads, and that's on my website. I'll put a link to that in the description box below here, so if you need to go and have a look at that, then the link will be down there. So I'm going to start with the top left cord here, because that's the next one that I'm due to take. So on this one, what we have are 12 dark purple first of all, then we have 9 light purple, 4 white in the middle, 9 light purple again, and then we have 9 dark purple at the end. And on the top right one here, so the one right next to it, we start out with 14 dark purple, 4 light purple, we have 9 white in the middle, then 4 light purple again, and then 11 dark purple at the end. And then the top one on the right side here of the disc, we have 9 dark purple, 9 light purple, 4 white, 9 light purple again, and then we finish on 12 dark purple. And the bottom one of the right side here, the two, we have 11 dark purple, 4 light purple, 9 white, 4 light purple, and then finish on 14 dark purple in this one. And then we get to the bottom of the disc here. So the right one of the two bottom ones, we have 12 dark purple, 9 light purple, 4 white, 9 light purple, and then we have 9 dark purple. And then the left one of these two bottom ones here, we have 14 dark purple to begin with, then we have 4 light purple, 9 white, 4 light purple again, and then we finish on this one with 11 dark purples. And then as for the final two cards here on the left side of the disc, the bottom one of them is 9 dark purple to begin with, 9 light purple, 4 white in the middle there, then 9 light purple again, and then 12 dark purple at the end of that one. And the very final card here, we start out with 11 dark purple, 4 light purple, 9 white in the middle of this one, 4 light purple again, and then finish on this one with 14 dark purple beads. And that is then the bead setup here to achieve that ombre effect, but with 3 colours, but where we have one colour in the middle, and then it kind of graduates outwards to the other colours on both sides. And obviously you can use whatever colours you want to, so you just replace the colour on the pattern here with the colour that you want to be in that place instead. And also you can quite easily adjust the length of this braid here, because on the ends of them you can see that's where I have the dark purple. Obviously you can have a colour that you want, and all you got to do really is either, if you want to make it longer, add some more beads of that colour, the same amount on all of them here, or take some away if you want to make it shorter. So that's how I would recommend adjusting the length of this braid according to what you need. And then also I just want to mention that this bead setup here is to accommodate the way that I work with my braid. So like I said, I take my top left one and then the bottom right one, and the bead setup like this will work for that. And it'll be the same whether you start with the top left one or the bottom right, it's the same thing. Now if you start with the top right one or the bottom left one, they're the same as each other, but what you'll need to do to achieve the same pattern here and the same effect is to set up the beads just a bit differently. And basically what you need to do is imagine that you have a mirror in front of the disc, and then you need to set up the beads in that mirror image. So what that means is that the top two situations there of where the beads are on the cards, they would need to swap place. So obviously it's not the cards themselves, but just the positioning of the beads. So they would swap with each other, the bottom two would swap with each other, then the side ones here, the top one on each side would swap over the middle with each other, and then also the bottom one on each side would swap over the middle with each other. And then to set it like that in basically that mirror image, if you work in the opposite way to me, that will then achieve the same effect. So now that we have all the beads in place here, we now need to start incorporating them into the braid. So the way that we do that is by continuing the braid in the exact same way, just like we were doing that little section without the beads. First there. Now whenever we move a cord, as I'm releasing this from the disc, I'm then going to drop down my very first bead that I run into. So I'm releasing the cord and letting the bead drop down. And then you got to make sure the bead goes underneath the cord in the middle there, so it tugs in. It either sometimes will fall down by itself, which is great, but sometimes you have to just tuck it in with your finger. So just double check that it tugs in, because that's how the beads end up on the outside of the braid. If they end up on top of the cords in the middle here, they're going to end up on the inside of the braid, which is also a nice technique, but that's not what we want for this one. And then the bottom one here, release the cord, and as I'm doing that I'm dropping down the bead and then bringing it over, and then making sure that bead is tucked in underneath, turning my disc for the next pair, and then basically just doing the same. So every time we're moving a cord, we're then dropping down one bead, and that's how we then add our beads here into the braid and then achieve that pattern that we want. So you just keep doing this all the way until you used up all your beads. So now I kept braiding here and adding in all my beads, and I don't have any more left now. We have the braid coming out of the back as well. Then what we need to do is kind of finish off this end as well. So we need to make just a little section of braid just like we did in the beginning without the beads. And all you're going to do is continue the braid but just without adding beads in. And then what will happen is the cords will naturally singe in at the end there. And again, do this for about 1 to 2 centimeters, just equivalent to the other end. So we have something to finish it off with. So then when I made that little section of braid, what I want to do now is to secure the end in place so I can securely take my braid off the disc here without worrying about it coming undone. And I'm not going to use the pair that I just moved. I'm going to take the pair that I was due to do next. I'm going to then take cords that are diagonally opposite each other here, bring them across the middle, and then tie a knot with them and tighten that down right at the end of the braid, like that. And then the other two from the same pair, make a knot, there we go, and then move to the other pair and do the same thing with the rest of them. So just take cords that are diagonally opposite each other, tie a knot, and the knots are kind of stacking up on top of each other here. And the final ones, just bring them in as well, make your knot, and with the final one here, I'm just going to do a double knot, just so it holds a bit better, so we can not worry about it coming undone while we're moving it around and finishing it off, just like that. So then I can take my disc away, and then here we have our braid. And then here it is. So you have your one colour in the middle there that graduates into the other ones, and then it looks the same, so it's nice and symmetrical. It's going to sit like this. So all that's left to do now is finish off the ends. I'm going to be using these Kumihimo ends here with some glue, and obviously then use a loop on them to then attach my findings. And then once you've done that, I already have a tutorial where I show how to do that. I'm going to put a link in the description box below. But once you've done it, you'll then have your finished bracelet. So this is then my bracelet done here after attaching the Kumihimo ends and then also my clasp. And then obviously I'll just use that to wear it. It's nice and secure, and then it gives this look to it. So just this really nice look where you have a middle colour and then it comes out to the side, and obviously you can choose whatever colours you want to use. So that's how you make this. So I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and thank you very much for watching. Hello there everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to make this fashion statement bracelet, and it looks like this. So really can give a really big impact, but it's quite simple to do really. All we have is a braid running down through the middle, and then we attach different embellishments to that braid. And this is just the ones that I've used. So quite simple techniques. And this is to match the original fashion statement necklace that I did, which looks like this.